Use video training series number 2. This is 2 of 3, titled, If You Want to Change Your Life, You Need to Discreate Your Egoic Story. Namaste. My name is Master Coach You, and most of you already know that we all have our own unique egoic stories about our lives that we were conditioned to believe and identify with, and sometimes we think we are the story. These egoic stories will keep replaying in your head over and over again, which will, via the law of attraction, draw to you what you don't want until you experience enough pain and suffering till finally you ask yourself, why is this happening to me again? It is important to understand that it doesn't matter if your egoic story is true, false, painful, or not even relevant to whom you are now. Because whatever story is playing inside your head will keep creating the reality that you're experiencing until you learn how to discreate it. To quote the famous psychologist Carl Jung, until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life, and your egoic mind will call it fate. Discreation is a U-method clinically tested coaching exercise that will teach you how to clean the slate of your mind of your old egoic stories that no longer serve you well. Discreation is an essential element of the spiritual growth cycle because psychologists have proven that you think between 50 and 75,000 thoughts a day. That means by age 40, you have created 730 million thoughts. And according to psychologists, approximately 80% of those thoughts will be negative. Therefore, if you're around 40 years old, you've reinforced 584 million negative thoughts. So, if you believe in the power of affirmations, which I do, and you do 100, which is quite a bit, right? 100 affirmations a day versus 50,000 negative thoughts per day. That's like trying to bail out a sinking boat with a little tiny thimble. I'm often asked by new clients, what do I have to do to create the permanent behavioral changes that I desire? I mean, that's why they hire me, right? To help them create those changes. So I tell them 85% of the work that is required to create the permanent behavioral changes that you desire comes from having the emotional courage to surface what your ego has repressed, denied, and intellectualized, to unlearn those using clinically proven discreation exercises. Your ego intellect created these defenses to defend you. It's not, it really initially anyway, it wasn't a negative thing. It was created as an ego defense mechanism so that you could feel safe when you weren't safe, because no matter whatever you were experiencing, obviously wasn't emotionally or sexually or financially or physically safe. So they think of it as anesthesia, these mechanisms. The problem of it is if you were like in war all the way back to Vietnam or something like that, they're still resonating as if you're in the war still. If you have the emotional courage, you can use what surfaces and perform required psycho-spiritual coaching exercise. And of course, at this point, we're talking about discreation. To literally unlearn what is stopping you from achieving your goals. To accomplish this, you need to use your adult powers of self-parenting and boundary mastery, right? Which we covered in the last video, all 6 of them. Because that's the foundation of what we all need, as if we had perfect parents. If you have all your emotional dependency needs from self-parenting, and if you know how to protect your boundaries to the right degree, right person, right manner, right way, that's how you lead a highly functional, mature life. Now, in the next video, which is the last video, in this series, it's video 2, excuse me. No, that's a mistake. I'm working on, and doesn't matter. The next video, right, is about a life-altering exercise called, do you have the emotional courage to own what your life is mirroring? Do you have the emotional courage to look into that mirror of your own life and change? And what I was making an error there was simply, it's the last one in this series. If you've resonated with what I've shared today, my Spiritual Life Coaching School, Holistic Learning Centers, has a free transformational course. It literally is free. There is no catches or whatever. It's just a way for you to really test out these exercises that we've been working on since 1993. So you can call the office at 888-HLC-0878, or you can visit our website at www.holisticlearningcenter.com. Namaste.